I was just laughing, thinking I'd found a cool piece of history.
Grandpa Arthur's workshop was always full of these little secrets. Then I found it, a hidden lever just sitting there. The wall opened up, like it was waiting for me to step inside. The door slammed shut, and just like that, I was in the dark. It wasn't an accident. This was a trap. My light hit the walls, and I realized where I was. This wasn't just a basement. It was a bunker, built for something else. I found some food, but it wasn't much. Arthur had prepared for this, but why? I started reading his journals, just to keep my mind busy. It was all there, every little detail of our town's history. Then I found this locket, and my heart just stopped. Clara Jennings. Why did Grandpa have her things? I found a hidden book, and it was a confession. He wasn't just investigating her. He knew her. And then I found the Bluebird. He was stained with blood. He killed her. I found the way out, but the truth was heavier than the door. I was free, but I had to make sure Clara finally got justice. I stood there on the porch, clutching the evidence like it was a lifeline. The estate looked the same, but everything had changed. Then Robert walked up, and the look on his face told me he knew exactly what I'd found. He didn't even try to lie. He just stood there, admitting he'd known about the bunker all along. He said he was trying to protect the family name, but it sounded like a sick excuse. He swore he didn't trap me on purpose, but he didn't call for help either, hoping I'd just walk away. Seeing him fall apart like that, it was almost as hard as finding the truth. The truth finally came out, and it hit the town like a bomb. Everything we thought we knew about the Vance family was a lie. The whispers started up again, louder than ever. I finally found her resting place. It was just a simple stone, forgotten by everyone but me. I left the Bluebird there. A small piece of her life returned home. I survived the impossible, but the weight of it all still lingers. My family's legacy is ruined, but at least the truth is out. I walked through that darkness and came out the other side. The estate is quiet now, like it's holding its breath. All those secrets finally dragged out into the light. It's a heavy history, but it's finally ours to own. I'm leaving all this behind for good. I don't know what's next, but I'm ready for it. The truth set me free, even if it cost me everything. Could you have survived 7 days in that tomb? Would you have had the courage to face the truth? Let me know what you think in the comments. The truth is out, and the story is finally over. But some things, like this little bird, we'll always remember. Thanks for watching. I sat there on the porch, just staring out at the estate. Everything I thought I knew about this place felt like a lie now. Uncle Robert walked up, and I could see the moment he realized what I had. He didn't say a word, but his face told me everything. He finally admitted he knew about the bunker all along. He said he was just trying to protect the family name, but it sounded like a hollow excuse. He told me Eleanor knew too, way back then. He didn't mean to trap me, but he didn't stop it either, and that's almost worse. The truth about Clara finally got out, and it tore through this town like a wildfire. Everything people thought they knew about the Vances just crumbled. I went to Clara's grave to leave the bird there. It wasn't much, but it was the least I could do for her. I survived the bunker, but the real test was facing what my grandfather did. I'm not carrying his secrets anymore, just the truth. The house is quiet now, but it feels different. The secrets are out, and there's no going back. I'm leaving this place behind for good. It's time to start over, on my own terms. Could you have survived 7 days in that tomb? Let me know what you think in the comments. Standing here, It finally feels real. Clara Jennings wasn't just a story anymore.
She was a person, and she deserved to be remembered.
I brought this back to where it belongs. It's a small thing, but it's all I have to give.
Rest in peace, Clara.
The truth is out now. My family's legacy is changed forever.
But I'm not gonna let it break me. I used to think this place was a treasure trove. And now it just feels like a cage. It's time to move on.
Everything started right here. One little lever and my whole world turned upside down.
I'm glad I found it, even if it cost me everything. I don't need these anymore.
The truth is already with me. I'm finally leaving. It's over.
I can finally breathe again.
Whatever comes next, I'm ready.
Goodbye, Vance Escate.
You've held on to your secrets for long enough. Now it's my turn to live. Some secrets are too dark to stay buried.
And the truth always finds a way to the surface.
The Vance legacy is finally laid to rest. Could you have survived?
Let me know in the comments below.
I stood there, surrounded by the weight of my family's darkest secrets. Every journal, every object, it all pointed to a truth I never wanted to believe. This little bird was the final piece of a puzzle I never asked to solve. I had to take it with me, as proof of what he'd done. I knew there had to be a way out, a secret path he'd built for himself. I just had to find the trigger, the one thing that would open this tomb. Then I felt it, a tiny carved leaf hidden in the stone. Grandpa always said, the trick is never to push, but to twist.
With a sharp twist, the wall finally gave way.
The sound of grinding stone was the most beautiful thing I'd ever heard. I stumbled out into the light, gasping for air. I was free, but the truth I carried felt heavier than any stone. Robert arrived, and I could see the moment he realized what I'd found. He knew. He'd known all along. He tried to explain, to justify the silence, but it all sounded like excuses.
The family name, the legacy, it was all built on a lie.
The truth finally came out, and it tore through this town like a wildfire. Arthur Vance, the man we all looked up to, was a murderer.
I left the bird on her grave, the final tribute to a life stolen.
I'd walked through the darkness, and I'd finally found my way out. I stood there for a long time, just breathing in the quiet. It felt like the first real breath I'd taken in days. Finally, the truth wasn't just a secret anymore. The path ahead looked different now. I wasn't just walking away from a grave. I was walking toward a life that was finally my own. A house didn't feel like a trap anymore. It was just wood and stone. Finally quiet. I could finally breathe in these halls. I found him in the study, just staring out. He looked like he'd aged 10 years in one night. There wasn't much left to say between us. I left the journal on his desk. It was time he faced what was inside. No more hiding. No more secrets. He looked at me, and for a second, I saw it. The weight of everything we'd lost. He finally understood. The garden was a mess, but it was alive. I think I'm going to start clearing it out tomorrow. It's going to take a while, but that's okay.
I found this old bench under the oak.
It's the perfect spot to just sit and think. Everything feels a little lighter now. I finally had a signal again. There was so much I needed to say, but for now, just one message was enough. The stars look different tonight. I'm ready for whatever comes next. I'm finally home. I walk back to the house, the gravel crunching under my boots. Looking back at the estate, the shadows didn't feel so heavy anymore. It was like finishing a long, difficult book. The house was quiet, but it was a peaceful kind of quiet. I hung up my jacket, feeling grounded in the present.
The smell of the house finally felt like home again.
I went to the kitchen to make some tea.
Waiting for the kettle to whistle felt like such a luxury.
Watching the steam rise was surprisingly comforting.
I held the warm mug, letting the heat soak in.
There were going to be some tough conversations ahead,
But I felt ready to face it all.
I started writing down everything I needed to organize.
My hand was steady this time, not shaking like before.
I was building a case for the truth. The house felt different now, full of history. I ran my fingers over the books Arthur had collected.
The history was real, even if he was a monster.
I looked at his portrait, feeling a mix of anger and pity.
He was so brilliant, but his mind was just so twisted.
I wonder if he ever really found any peace. I was finally ready to get some sleep.
The exhaustion was really catching up with me now.
Tomorrow is going to be a long day,
But tonight, I can rest. Sitting on my bed, I looked out at the moonlit grounds. Everything was quiet, and the secrets were finally gone.
I felt a sense of closure I didn't expect.
I closed my eyes and let the silence wash over me. I wasn't that scared girl anymore. I walked through the fire and made it out.
The morning light feels different today.
It's like the weight of the world finally lifted off my shoulders.
I've got everything laid out now.
Every piece of evidence, every secret, it's all right here. It's hard to believe this little thing holds so much pain. But I can't look away anymore. That's him. It's time to finally get some answers. Elara? What are you doing with all this?
You weren't supposed to find any of this.
I know about the bunker, Robert. I know what Arthur did to Clara. I never wanted you to get hurt.
But I couldn't let the family name be destroyed.
It's over now. We're finally going to make this right. You can rest now, Clara. The truth is out. I'm ready for whatever comes next. I'm finally free. I sit here with the truth finally out in the open. It's heavy, but it's finally mine to carry. I still remember the cold air of that bunker. It was like a tomb for all those secrets. The whole town feels different now. Every look I get, I know what they're thinking. I gotta go back there one more time, just to make sure I'm really done with it. It's just a workbench, really. Hard to believe this little thing caused so much pain. He was just a man after all. A man who made some truly terrible choices. I'm leaving it all behind now. The house can keep its own ghosts. Just working in the dirt helps me think. It's nice to focus on something that's actually alive. I'm still here. And that's enough. I've got a lot to be thankful for. It's time to start something new. I'm ready for whatever comes next. Walking through these halls feels different now. The weight of the past is finally starting to lift. I'm finally putting these pieces where they belong. No more secrets, just the truth. It's time to write the real story. Clara deserves to be remembered for who she was. The trees are just trees now. Everything feels so much clearer in the daylight. He looks like he's carrying the world on his shoulders. We both know there's no going back from this. He finally sees it all out in the open. The silence was never worth the cost. I don't think we can ever be the same. But maybe we can start to be honest. The house feels different now. It's like it's finally breathing again. I'm ready for whatever comes next. The truth is finally mine to carry. This is where the story changes. And this is where I finally start my own. I look at this little bird and I finally see the truth. It's not just a carving, it's a confession. Everything I thought I knew about my grandfather is gone. Now I have to face the man who helped him keep this secret. He walks in and I can see the guilt written all over his face.
He knows exactly what I found.
I asked him point blank if he knew about the bunker.
He doesn't even try to lie to me anymore. He starts talking, and it's like a dam finally breaking. He was just as trapped by this secret as I was. I realized that we can't keep living like this. It's time to tell the world what really happened. We step outside, and the air feels different tonight. The weight of the past is finally starting to lift. I know the road ahead is going to be tough, but I'm ready to face it, no matter what. The estate looks different now, like it's finally breathing again. It's the end of one story and the beginning of another. Could you have lived through all this and still found the courage to speak up? Let me know what you think in the comments. Walking to the cemetery, the weight of what I found feels heavy. The morning air is cold, but it's a relief after being trapped. I'm finally here at Claire's grave to set things right. I kneel down, my hands shaking as I pull the carving out. It's just a small thing, but it means everything now. I place it on the stone, a final tribute to her. Looking out at the town, I know everything's about to change. The truth is going to be hard for everyone to hear, but justice is worth the pain. Back home, the silence feels different now. I keep thinking about my grandfather and what he really was. The betrayal is it's a lot to carry. Robert walks up, and he looks like he hasn't slept in days. He won't even look at me. We're both just standing here in the wreckage of our family name. He finally starts talking, and his voice just breaks. He says he was just trying to protect the family name. I don't know if I can ever forgive him for that. There's nothing left to say between us. He chose to stay quiet, and that's on him. I'm done with this house and all its secrets. I'm packing everything up now. The police need to see all of this. It's time to let the truth come out. One last look at this place. It looks so normal now, doesn't it? I'm finally walking away for good. So, could you have done it? Could you have faced the truth and walked out? Let me know in the comments. Walking through town, everything feels different now. People are just living their lives, totally clueless about what happened. It's like I'm looking at a world I don't really fit into anymore. The police station looks so cold today. My hands are shaking, but I've got to do this. It's time to finally hand over the truth. The station is so busy, nobody even notices me. I just need someone to actually listen to what I found. What if they don't believe me? I started showing him everything I found in the bunker. He looked pretty bored at first, but then he saw the bird. His whole face changed when he realized what this was. They put me in this tiny room to tell the whole story. I told them everything, from the bunker to the confession. It felt like a huge weight was finally lifting off my chest. The news about my grandfather is everywhere now. I'm trying to stay out of the spotlight. I just want to make sure Clara finally gets justice. People are actually coming to pay their respects. It's so quiet here, just like it should be. I think Clara would have liked this. I can't stay in this house anymore. Every corner just reminds me of what he did. It's time to pack up and move on. One last look at the place that almost broke me. I'm finally driving away from all those secrets. The road ahead is wide open now. I needed to stop and just breathe for a second. The world is so much bigger than that bunker. I'm finally ready to start my own life. It's weird seeing my family's name plastered all over the news. I thought I'd feel more relieved, but honestly, I'm just tired. I'm finally starting to write my own story. It's not going to be easy, but it's mine. The world keeps spinning, even when everything feels like it's falling apart. It's nice to just be here, in the moment. I used to think that water was just a way to survive.
Now it just reminds me of how much I've actually got to live for.
There's so many stories out there that haven't been heard yet.
I think I want to help find them.
It's good to talk to someone who saw him for who he really was. It makes the whole thing feel a little less heavy.
I'm not the same person I was a week ago. And honestly, I'm kind of glad about that.
This little bird has seen more than I ever wanted to know. But it's going to stay right here as a reminder of what I survived. It's amazing how big the world is when you're not looking at it through a keyhole.
I'm ready for whatever comes next.
I'm finally free, and that's all that matters.
I finally laid everything out on the table. It felt like the weight of the world was right there in front of me.
I wasn't scared anymore, just ready to finish what I started. This little bird was the final piece of the puzzle.
It's hard to believe something so small could hold such a dark history.
But it's the truth, and it needs to be heard. I made the call that would change everything. My voice didn't even shake. It was time to let the town know what really happened. Waiting for them to arrive felt like the longest hour of my life. The house looked so different now. It wasn't a treasure trove anymore, just a place where secrets had been buried. When the cruiser pulled up, I finally let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. They were here to help me finish this. It was finally over. I showed them the lever behind the workbench. Watching them document the entrance felt surreal. I was just glad I didn't have to go back down there. I stayed back while they went down. I could hear them moving around in the dark. It was like listening to a ghost story that I had lived through. They came back up with everything. The look on their faces said it all. It was finally real to everyone else now. I watched them drive away with the truth. The estate felt quiet for the first time in years. I was ready to leave it all behind. The sun was setting on the old life. I felt lighter than I had in a long time. I was finally free. Looking back at the house, it feels like a different place now. The weight of everything I've found is finally starting to lift. I keep thinking about Clara and the life she never got to live. This little bird is the only thing left of her story. It belongs here, not in a box in the dark. Rest in peace, Clara. The truth is out now, and that's all that matters. I think she'd finally be at peace with that. I'm ready to leave this all behind me now. There's a whole world out there waiting, and I'm finally gonna see it. It's over. The whole thing is finally over. Time to start fresh. Just me and the road ahead. I don't have a plan, and honestly, that feels pretty good. For the first time in years, I'm just gonna drive. Look at that view. It's like the world is opening up. I think I'm going to be okay. I've got a lot of memories to process, but I'm ready. The future is mine to write now. Here we go. On to the next chapter. Whatever happens next, I'm ready for it. The road ahead feels endless, but for the first time, it's mine. I'm leaving the shadows of the Vance estate behind me for good. The lights here are almost blinding after so long in the dark. I need to make that call to finally let someone know I'm okay. My hands are shaking, but I know what I have to do. It's time to tell them everything about the bunker and what I found. I can hear the disbelief in their voice, but they're listening. I'm laying it all out, every single detail, so there's no turning back. It's done. The truth is finally out there. Now I just have to wait for them to arrive. Here they are. This is really happening. I'm ready to show them everything I found. I've got everything they need right here. It's time to bring Clara's story to light. Take it. It all belongs to the truth now. I'm finally letting go of the burden. My part in this is finally over. I'm ready to start fresh, to find my own way. The road ahead is finally clear. I'm ready for whatever comes next.
I pulled back into the driveway, the house looking just as imposing as ever. Sitting there in the dark, I realized I wasn't the same person who left. Every step toward the porch felt like walking into a different life. The air out here was cold, but it felt so clean.
Robert was waiting for me, just standing there in the shadows.
He didn't say a word, but I could feel him watching me. I held out the Bluebird, and I saw his face just crumble. He knew exactly what it was, and he knew what it meant. He finally started talking, and it was all just as bad as I'd feared. He'd been protecting the family name, even when he knew the truth. I couldn't believe he'd just let it happen, all for the sake of a name. It was like the whole foundation of my life was just rotting away. The truth didn't stay quiet for long, and soon the whole town was talking. It was like a dam had broken, and everything was finally coming out. I finally brought the Bluebird to where it belonged. It wasn't much, but it was the least I could do for her. I'd walked through the worst of it, and I was still standing. The truth was a heavy burden, but it was also my way out. I don't know what comes next, but I'm ready for it. I'm finally free to write my own story. I'm sitting here finally trying to make sense of it all. The notes are a mess, but the truth is starting to come together. This little bird is the hardest part to look at. It's just a piece of wood, but it holds so much pain. I've got to do this, even if it burns everything down. One click, and there's no going back. It's done. Now we just wait for the fallout. I used to think this place was magic. Now I know it was just hiding a nightmare. I'm finally breathing again. The truth is out, and that's all that matters. Here we go. Time to tell the whole story. Thanks for coming.
I have everything you need right here.
It's finally over. I can finally start my own life. I'm ready for whatever comes next. The past is behind me now. The house feels different now. It's just a home, not a vault of secrets. I can finally breathe again. This room used to terrify me. Now it's just wood and dust.
The truth has a way of clearing the air.
There's always something else, isn't there? Just when I thought I'd seen it all. These photos tell a different story. Look at her eyes. She knew, and she couldn't say a word. The weight of it must have been unbearable. It's time to put this away. I've done what I needed to do. The truth is out, and that's enough. Finally, some quiet. The stars look the same as they always did. But everything else has changed. They're all reaching out. I'm not alone in this. It's good to know people care. What happens next? I have a choice now. That's a good feeling. I'm ready. Whatever comes, I can handle it. Time to start a new chapter. The truth is out, and the house is finally quiet. It's a new beginning. I keep staring at this little Bluebird. It's just a piece of wood, but it feels so heavy. The stain on its chest. I know what that is now. Making this call changes everything. My family's name, the history, it's all gonna come crashing down. But Clara deserves the truth, no matter the cost. They're finally here. It feels like I've been holding my breath for a week. Now, there's no turning back. It's all down there. My grandfather built this place to hide what he did. You need to see it for yourselves. I can't go back down there. I've seen enough of that place to last a lifetime. I just hope they find what they mean. He knows. He's known all along, hasn't he? The look on his face says everything. It's all coming out now. Every secret, every lie. It's all in those boxes. I don't know how I'm gonna live with this. I'm sorry it took so long. You weren't forgotten, Claire. You're finally going to get the justice you deserve.
The truth is out.
It's gonna be a long road ahead.
But I'm not afraid anymore.
It's over. I'm finally free.
And I'm ready for whatever comes next.
Walking back into the house, everything feels different now.
Yeah, it's like the silence here is heavy, like the walls are holding their breath.
It's just a house now, not a mystery anymore. I used to look at these shelves with such admiration.
Now, I just see the lies he built to cover his tracks.
It's hard to believe he spent his whole life hiding in plain sight.
I keep looking for the man I remember in these pages.
But he's gone, replaced by someone I never really knew. It's like I'm mourning a ghost that never existed.
The world is already starting to ask questions.
They want a story, but they don't know the half of it.
I'm not ready to talk to them yet.
I think it's time to leave this place behind. There's nothing left for me here but the past. I need to find a way to start over.
Just the basics, that's all I need.
I'm leaving the rest of this history to the dust.
It feels good to let go of all this weight.
Goodbye, Arthur. Goodbye, Vance Estate. I'm finally walking out of here on my own terms.
The future is waiting, and I'm ready for it.
The road ahead is long, but it's mine. No more secrets, no more lies. Just me and the open road. It's nice to be around people again. A simple cup of coffee and a moment of peace. I think I'm gonna be okay. The stars look so bright tonight. Everything is finally starting to make sense. I'm ready for whatever comes next. I keep looking at this little bird. It's just a piece of wood, but it feels like it weighs a ton. I remember finding it under the floorboards. That stain on its chest. I know what that is now. Everyone here is just living their lives. They have no idea what's hidden in that bunker. Who do I even call with this? The police, the press, my own family? I can't just sit here forever. I have to do something. Time to go. I've got a long night ahead of me. It's so quiet out here. Almost like nothing ever happened. I have to go back.
I have to finish this.
Everything looks so different now. It's like I'm seeing it for the first time. Here we go. No more secrets. The engine dies, and the silence of the estate feels heavy. I sit here, gripping the wheel, staring at the house. The Bluebird in my pocket is a constant, painful reminder. I step out, and the gravel crunches way too loud in the quiet. The air smells like damp earth, just like that bunker. I walk toward the door, my shadow stretching out before me. The door creaks open, and the house feels like it's watching me. Dust motes dance in the moonlight, hitting the floor. I hesitate on the threshold, wondering if I'm ready for this. My footsteps echo through the hall as I walk. I reach the workshop door, where everything started. My hand is shaking as I reach for the handle. The workshop smells like old paper and wood shavings. I click on my light, and the beam cuts through the dark. I scan the workbench for that hidden panel. I find the panel and pull it back. The dark passage opens up, and my stomach just drops. I have to do this for the truth. I head down the steps, my light dancing on the walls. It gets colder the deeper I go. I reach the bottom, and the bunker is just as I left it. I walk to the desk where I found the confession. I set the Bluebird down like a silent accusation. I start gathering the journals to take him out. With everything in my bag, I turn to leave. I take one last look at this tomb of secrets. I'm finally breaking the silence that's haunted us for years. I climb back up and step into the morning sun. The light feels different now, like it's actually clean. I walk out, ready to face whatever comes next. The morning air feels so different now.
I'm holding the truth in my hands. Uncle Robert's car pulls up slowly. He looks at me and his face just drops. I hold up the Bluebird for him to see. He knows exactly what this means. He sits down and finally starts talking. It's all coming out now. He tried to protect the family name, but he was just protecting a murderer. The whole town is talking about it now. It's finally time for the truth. I place the bird on her grave. She deserves to be remembered. The secret is finally out. I can finally breathe again. It's a long road ahead, but I'm ready for it. Could you have done the same? Let me know in the comments. I'm sitting here, just trying to process everything that's happened. It's like I'm a completely different person than I was a week ago. I look at my phone, but I don't really want to deal with the world yet. Everything out there just feels so loud compared to what I've been through. The wind in the trees sounds different now. It's like the whole estate is finally exhaling after all these years. I used to play in this garden all the time as a kid. It's crazy to think about what was hidden just a few feet away. The sound of the water is the only thing that feels real right now. It's just so peaceful compared to the silence down there. I've got a responsibility to make sure the truth comes out. No more hiding. No more secrets. This place used to feel like a treasure trove. Now it just feels like a crime scene. I found this photo of them together. They look so happy, like they had no idea what was coming. That's it. The last of it. I'm done with this place. I'm finally free. It's time to start over. I'm finally leaving this place behind. It looks so small in the mirror now. It's time to move on and start fresh. This is it. The end of a line. I've got everything they need right here. No more secrets, just the truth. The waiting is the hardest part. Everything is about to change for everyone. I just want this to be over. Here, it's all in this box. My grandfather left it all behind. You'll find everything you need inside. I can hear them whispering already. It's a lot for this town to take in, but they deserve to know the truth. Everything looks so normal out there. It's hard to believe how much has changed. I'm just watching it all from a distance now. He wants to talk, finally. I don't know if I'm ready for this, but we have to face it together. It's been a long time, Robert. I know you knew about the bunker. We both have so much to answer for. I was just trying to protect us. I thought if I kept quiet, it would go away. I was wrong. So incredibly wrong. We've got a long way to go, but at least we're finally talking. I'm ready for whatever comes next. I returned to the estate one last time. The house felt different now that the truth was out. I had to face the workshop again. The workshop was just as I left it. It felt like a hollow shell now. I stared at the spot where the lever was hidden. The wall groaned as it opened. That smell of damp earth came rushing back. I took a breath and stepped into the dark. The bunker was exactly as I left it. It felt like a tomb for secrets. I walked toward the desk in the center. I picked up the little Bluebird. The stain on its breast was still there. It was a heavy reminder of what he did. I started packing up the journals. Every piece of evidence had to come with me. I wasn't leaving anything behind. I took one last look around. The shadows didn't seem so scary anymore. It was time to leave this place for good. The daylight felt like a blessing. I set the box down on the workbench. I finally felt like I could breathe again. I walked back to my car. The house didn't look so mysterious anymore. I started the engine and drove away. I looked in the mirror one last time. The estate was shrinking in the distance. I was finally free to start my own life.
I pulled into the station, my hands shaking on the wheel.
The box beside me felt like it weighed 1,000 pounds. I knew once I walked in, everything would change forever.
The station was bright, loud, and felt totally wrong.
I held the box tight, like it was the only thing keeping me together.
The officer didn't even look up, just kept typing away.
I laid everything out on the table, one piece at a time.
The detective's face changed from bored to completely stunned.
He finally understood that this wasn't just some old family story.
The driveway was full of cruisers, lights flashing everywhere.
It felt surreal, watching them swarm the place I grew up in.
The silence was gone, replaced by all this noise. Robert looked like he'd aged 10 years in just a few hours.
He just stood there, staring at the workshop like he was seeing a ghost.
I didn't know what to say to him anymore.
Everyone in town was talking. You could feel it in the air. People stared, but I wasn't going to hide from it. My name might be tainted, but I'm still me.
I finally found her grave, tucked away in the back.
It was so small, almost like she'd been erased.
I left the Bluebird there so she wouldn't be forgotten anymore.
The sun was going down and everything felt quiet for once.
I felt like I could finally breathe again.
The truth was out, and that had to be enough.
I didn't look back, not even once.
The road ahead was finally mine to choose.
I was done with the secrets, done with the past.
Truth isn't always pretty, but it's always worth it.
I learned that the hard way, but I'm still standing.
Thanks for listening to my story.
I finally found some peace in the quiet of my own home.
Looking at his picture, it's hard to reconcile the man I knew with the truth I uncovered.
It's time to start writing my own story.
No more secrets. No more shadows. The sun is finally coming up over the estate. Everything looks different in the light of a new day.
The air feels different today.
It's clean, and it's finally mine. I'm not looking back anymore.
The road ahead is all that matters now.
These woods held so many secrets, but they can't hold me anymore.
It's a long road, but I'm ready for it. I'm finally free. The truth is a heavy burden, but it's also a light.
And now I'm carrying that light forward. I hope you find the courage to face your own truths.
Because in the end, that's all we really have. Thanks for joining me on this journey. Stay curious and always seek the truth.